Namaskara, I am Rajkumar Dugar. Today I want to talk to you about the importance of priority of suburban train airport corridor for the entire city. Bengaluru is globally infamous for one of the biggest challenges faced by about 2 crore people living in and around the city, traffic congestion and all its consequences. The only practical solution is to have efficient, extensive, and effective public transport. That is, BMTC buses, local railway services, PMRCL's Namma Metro, etc., along with tight integration between the various modes of public transport. BMTC has been providing good services, carrying up to about 55 lakh people in a day until a few years ago. However, due to lack of real support from the government, stagnation in the routes covered by BMTC, and lack of dynamism in changing with the times, BMTC's ridership has seen a steady but sure decline. A large part of this sprawling city is actually available for only BMTC to provide public transport. There is no competition. They need to gear up with smaller buses, battery buses, feeder routes, new routes, better punctuality, etc. As far as BMRCL is concerned, let's talk about the phase one. All approvals were given to it in April 2006 to complete 42 kilometers of phase one Namma Metro at a cost of rupees 6,500 crores by 2011. They completed this in 2017 at a cost of 14,400 crores. Phase 2, covering 72 kilometers, was approved in Feb 2014 at an estimated cost of 26,405 crores and target date for completion as 2020. Now, if we apply the performance of BMRCL during phase 1, then phase 2 will be completed by 2027 at a cost of rupees 58,500 crores. Of course, there will be improvement in time schedule and reduction in cost escalation compared to phase 1, but it looks like these will be marginal. BMRCL is still far away from completing phase 2. It is under huge losses for various reasons. The delays and cost escalations are not helping Bengaluru at all. In addition, most of Namma Metro work is disrupting the major roads of the city, adding to the woes. It is more like a war zone with earth dug up, vehicles diverted, congestion all around, trees chopped off, etc. Meanwhile, on 7th June 2021, this month, BMRCL received final approval for building phase 2A and 2B from Silkport Junction to the airport terminal, a length of about 58 kilometers at a total completion cost of rupees 14,788 crores to be completed in 5 years, that is by 2026. Any middle school child will say, purely based on the facts and practicalities, that the earliest Namma Metro will reach airport terminal will be probably 2028, and it may cost anywhere above rupees 30,000 crores. Let us remember that cost of building metro is about 250 to 300 crores per kilometer for elevated and anywhere above rupees 500 crores per kilometer for underground. Who will pay all this money and the interests on the huge loans being taken? You and me, of course, either directly or indirectly. It is nobody's case that Bengaluru does not need metro. But the manner, yes, we need metro, but the manner in which BMRCL is going about its job is not in the interests of the city. Routes are badly planned, disruption to surface commute is immense, decisions on elevated and underground are questionable, massive trees have been uprooted, cost per kilometer is just too high, and the worst is lack of tight integration with other forms of public transport. Take the classic case of cantonment, where BMRCL messed up tightest possible integration available on a platter. Take City Railway Station, Yashwantpura, so many other places. These are all lifetime projects, and most definitely BMRCL could have done better. Also, BMRCL has become some kind of a bulldozer under which other forms of PT, that is public transport, have to play second fiddle. That is one reason why BMTC is not able to do what it did for decades for Namma Bengaluru. It is almost dying a slow death. And now we see even railway solutions being altered. Why? Let us look at the airport corridor. Why is it important? Bengaluru's airport near Devanahalli has become a massive hub of travel. It is developing into a destination by itself. Pre-COVID days saw daily average 1.25 lakh footfalls at the airport, both flyers and non-flyers. Most of the people go by personal vehicles or cabs. A small percentage uses buses. Of course, during lockdown, the numbers had dropped drastically. But by February this year, 2021, daily average of flyers had reached about 55,000. Another about 30,000 go as non-flyers for work, etc. every day. These numbers are bound to increase to pre-COVID days very soon. Terminal 2 is on the verge of becoming functional. The capacity of the airport will double, and the estimate is about 2.5 lakh footfalls daily. These people, these 2.5 lakh people, commute from and to all over the city and the surrounding towns, adding significantly to the traffic within the city. Gone are the days when air travel was considered a luxury. Now we can even see village folk, domestic servants, etc., traveling by flight. It is no longer a rich man's mode of travel. Also, Bengaluru's airport is one of the fastest growing airports in the world. The moot question is, can Bengaluru's roads handle all this load? And what are the practical options available to solve this situation looming large on the horizon? Only and only good public transport to the airport from all parts of the city and surrounding towns can really and significantly reduce traffic congestion in the city. Right now, the commute is 100% road centric. The option of local trains to the newly built halt station adjacent to the airport boundary started on 4th January this year. But it needs a lot of fine tuning. And anyway, it cannot, and at best, it can help a single digit percentage of people commuting to the airport. The only two other practical options are suburban trains to airport terminal and metro to airport terminal. Well, as far as local trains are concerned, run by SWR, it is not the focus of Indian Railways to provide local train services in Bengaluru the way they have provided already in about 10 cities in India. Mumbai has one of the best local train systems for decades now. There was no serious efforts made, and so, despite already having 50 stations in and around Bengaluru, ಹೌದು 50ರಿಂದ ಹೆಚ್ಚು stations ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ. There is failure in effectively leveraging these to provide robust local train services. For over a decade now, there has been a public demand for suburban train system in Bengaluru. Several agencies have studied and presented reports, and after a lot of football with this project, on 7th October 2020, the union government's final approval was accorded, and the sanction letter was signed on 21st October 2020, about 9 months before metro to airport was accorded final sanction. Please remember, suburban train to airport got approval 9 months before metro to airport got approval. The sanction letter specifies the 4 corridors of the suburban rail system to be built as Corridor 1 from Bengaluru city to Yelahanka to Devanahalli with a link to the airport, a distance of 41 kilometers. Corridor 2 from Bayapanhalli to Yashwantpura to Chikkabanavara, a distance of 25 kilometers. Corridor 3 from Kengeri to Bengaluru city to Whitefield, a distance of 35.5 kilometers. And Corridor 4 from Heelalige to Yelahanka to Rajanakunte, a distance of 46.24 kilometers. The total length of the 4 corridors works out to 148.17 kilometers, and the cost sanctioned is rupees 15,767 crores. This works out to an average of rupees 106 crores per kilometer, much lesser than what it takes to build metro, which is about 4 to 5 times costlier. The sanction letter makes an unusual specific mention of the timeline. It says the completion period of the project is 6 years. That is fine. That is normal. That means by October 2026, all 4 corridors should be commissioned. But it goes on to add However, Corridor 1, Bengaluru City to Devanahalli with airport link, has been planned for completion within 3 years after sanction. Now, for sanction letter to specify this shows that some thought, some reasoning, some implications have been considered. Otherwise, there was no need to specify like this only for the airport corridor. The airport corridor would start from KSR Bengaluru City Railway Station and end at Devanahalli with a branch line going to airport terminal after passing through Malleshwaram, Yashwantpura, Kodigehalli, Yelahanka, etc. This route already has 2 stations with functioning metro stations nearby, KSR Bengaluru City and Yashwantpura. So the entire functional metro network would have access to the suburban trains on this corridor at these 2 stations. Also, the DPR, the detailed project report, states that the land acquisition for Corridor 1, that is the Devanahalli corridor, is the least compared to the other 3 corridors. All of us know that land acquisition is a time-consuming process and can delay any project and result in cost escalation too. Please also understand that disruption to regular road traffic is minimal with railway corridors because unlike for metro work, the roads are not dug up for railway work because their land requirements are away from the road network in most places. The TPR also has data to show that the number of footfalls expected on this corridor is the highest compared to the other 3 corridors, obviously because of the airport. K-Ride, the company formed by union and state governments to execute this project, had stated publicly before union government's approval of this project that they are gearing up for taking up and completing the airport corridor and whatever possible paperwork is going on. So when the final approval was accorded, there was a sigh of relief for all because now there was light at the end of the tunnel for Bengaluru, and it seemed like by late 23 or early 24, we would have a new alternate and practical mode of public transport in place with a significant and positive impact on the lives of the people who have to endure the traffic congestion directly or indirectly every day. But now there is a twist in the tail, and the twist is going to cost Bangalore heavily, just like the decision of BMRCL to shift Cantonment Metro Station will cost us heavily. After the sanction letter was received by K-Ride, initially there was silence from K-Ride. As a New Year gift to us, K-Ride let it out that after all, they will not be going by the sanction letter and will work on other corridors. They failed to specify that as per the sanction letter, the airport corridor will be completed within 3 years and instead began talking about how soon they will complete the corridors which they will take up instead of the airport corridor. This change in stance, this step against the sanction letter, and this move against the interests of Bengaluru has not been explained. There is no transparency in this decision. Yes, please go ahead and do whatever you want to regarding the other corridors. But why is there a change in your approach to the airport corridor, which can really help Bengaluru quickly? So by this decision, whoever is responsible for it has actually postponed Bengaluru's light at the end of the tunnel from 23-24 to 27-28, thereby extending the torture that Bengaluru faces every day due to traffic congestion. Who has taken this decision and why? We can only speculate because of lack of transparency. Also, any layman will say that Nammam Metro and suburban trains are not competing with each other. In fact, for airport corridor, only for airport corridor, they serve completely different parts of the city. Metro will cater mainly to southern and eastern parts of the city, while suburban train is along the western and central part of the city. In fact, they would complement each other in the airport corridor case. I really don't know how people think and take decisions. I conclude by stating that K-Ride, working in a manner as not to complete the airport corridor in 3 years and spreading its resources thin over various other corridors, is doing a disservice to Bengaluru. And whoever is responsible for this decision is also doing a disservice to Bengaluru. Already, we have been handed over a fait accompli in the case of Cantonment Metro Station by BMRCL. We have to live with it. However, in this matter, it is still early days and K-Ride must be asked to reverse its wrong decision and proceed on a war footing to complete the airport corridor well before the deadline. My specific appeal in this matter is to all our public representatives, our MLAs, our MPs from Bangalore, our Honorable Chief Minister, our Chief Secretary, Government of Karnataka to review this decision which has been taken at the state level and take the right decision in the interests of the city and its people. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.